Hi guys, Keefla here, hairstylist and makeup artist from If Looks Could Kill Artistry. Thanks for stopping by my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing my second product review for you guys, and I'm going to be doing it on an amazing brush cleaner that I picked up at the PHAMExpo that just happened in LA in June, and it's called Parian Spirit. Some of you guys may have heard of it, some of you guys haven't, but I'm here to let you know that as somebody who has a lot of brushes that I have to clean all the time, this professional makeup brush cleaner is amazing. Like, I can't even say enough amazing words about how good and how well this product works. We were at the PHAMExpo. I mean my boyfriend and one of my best friends, Veronica. Normally when I go to an expo like this, I like to make sure I kind of like do my rounds and like survey like everything that's going on, so that way I make the best purchases. So there's going to be a lot of things that you find the same at a lot of booths at an expo like that. So you want to make sure that you're getting the best deal for one, and you want to make sure that you're going to get like the best product, because the one thing that I really hate when I go to a trade show and expo is I buy something because I'm so excited, and then I walk around and like 5 booths later, it's like the same thing, but it's like cheaper, or you get something free with it or whatever. So I usually like to spend my time and take my time walking around the expo, seeing what's all available, and then once I've made my round or, you know, whatever, I can go ahead and make some educated purchases, and I leave really happy. So I just want to let you guys know I was a little skeptical. So, you know, I heard the spiel from the representative from Parian Spirit at the show. You know, he did the little demo for me, and, you know, everybody does that, and you never know, like, if they rigged it or whatever, you know, you never know. So he was talking about it, and it looked pretty impressive, and so I said, would I be able to try? You know, he had his like Parian Spirit, he had his dirty brush, and then, you know, he like cleaned it and stuff like that, but I was still a little skeptical. So I asked if I could dirty a brush in front of him and I could clean it. He had some as a tester, he had some Makeup Forever lipstick, and if any of you guys know Makeup Forever, you know that stuff stays on. It's like waterproof, and, you know, it's really good quality, durable makeup. So I took a lip brush that he had, and I smushed it in the Makeup Forever lipstick, really caking it on there, really like saturating the brush, because I know, you know, that one of the hardest things for a regular makeup artist to clean out of a brush is lipstick, because it's so emollient that like it kind of stains your brush, and it's always there if you don't have a good cleaner. So I took that soiled brush that I created, and I did the steps that he told me to, and the lipstick literally just like melted off that brush. Like, it just started dissolving and coming off like it was nothing. And I wiped it on a tissue, and the brush was clean. And within a matter of seconds, the brush was dry, which was an even more amazing thing. You know, in the industry, there's always a need for like really quick drying and like non-toxic makeup brush cleaner. Because back then, you know, before a lot of companies started really making their own, they used to use things like dry cleaning liquid and acetone and things like that, because, you know, to try to get out some alcohol-based products or latex-based products or really heavily emollient or oil-based products can be pretty tough, and it could wreak havoc on your brushes. So, you know, this company, they realized that there needed to be something that was really fast-drying, non-toxic, and something that just was super efficient at getting everything out of your brush regardless of what it was, and keeping the integrity of the fibers and the integrity of the brush, because, you know, a lot of us have really expensive makeup brushes. So they figured out that using citrus as an active ingredient, it cleaned oil-based makeup really well, and since it was made from like food grade materials, it was really safe for makeup artists to use and handle and, you know, breathe in and all that stuff. It also dried really quickly, and for, you know, professional makeup artists like me who use a lot of brushes over and over again, I love the turnover and how fast it dries, because I could quickly clean brushes between models or clients, and it's amazing. So at that time, you know, back in the day, special effects makeup artists and other artists would use, you know, really harsh chemicals to get makeup and adhesives and latex from masks, their brushes, hair pieces. So, you know, they used to use like dry cleaning liquid and things like that, because that was the only thing they had available to remove like oil-based products. Parian Spirit, when it was created, you know, really took the place of using those really harsh chemicals, and, you know, it quickly became in high demand. So it was It was also important to the creators of Parian Spirit that the product was able to not only clean, but condition the fibers of the brush and disinfect. So that's kind of like their whole mantra, is clean, condition, and disinfect. So I love that I get all of those benefits from this one product when I'm cleaning my brushes. So in 1995, Namie's Beauty Supply, I'm sure you guys all have heard of Namie's. I love Namie's. I'm a pro member, and I love that there's that resource out there online and in LA for me to shop at. They were the first retailer to carry Parian Spirit, and I know that Universal and Paramount were the first studios to actually request like high volume orders for them to have at their studio for the makeup artist. So, you know, that's a pretty big testament. So those are some of the reasons why I was kind of intrigued to, you know, to see how well this product worked. I know that Parian Spirit has been a regular vendor at IMATS in Pasadena, and it's also been the branded brush cleaner of Nordstrom's, Japanesque, and Urban Decay. Parian Spirit containers are made from recyclable products, and they always ship their products in recycled packing material, which is, to me, I love eco-friendly products. I love things that are green, and that just was a little bit more icing on the cake when I found out about that particular, you know, value that they place on, you know, recyclable and, you know, green products and stuff like that. So it's really good for cleaning makeup off of clothing, which is a really good thing. You can clean makeup and adhesives off of wigs. You can also clean it off of false lashes and false facial hair. So it's really good at cleaning latex and acrylic as well. So come on, like, you know, this product pretty much does everything as far as like cleaning your like makeup mess needs, if you will. It's pretty amazing. And it also leaves your brushes with a really nice like citrusy kind of like orange peel kind of smell, which I really like. And some makeup brush cleaners have that really chemically, like alcohol kind of smell, and I love the smell of this because I love anything citrus, and I just love that that it makes my brushes smell like that, like fresh, like freshly like squeezed oranges. Also, I love how conditioned it makes the bristles feel. It does a really good job of like re-softening, and like even some of my brushes that were kind of on their last leg, if you will, it really kind of rejuvenated them and make them almost like new, so it's pretty cool. So Parian Spirit comes in a few different forms, and the kit that I got a little sample of everything. So I have the Parian Spirit brush cleaner wipes. I also have the Parian Spirit that comes in the spray bottle, which I love for my bigger brushes. And I also have the 18-ounce Parian Spirit brush cleaner in the original formula. Now, I got the Parian Spirit cleaning jar. I love this because it has the little grate that's on the little riser, so that way the debris from the brushes fall under it so they're not being mixed in while you're cleaning the brushes. So I'm pouring my liquid here into the jar. You don't need a lot. A little goes a long way. I'm only filling the jar about a third way full, and that's going to be enough to clean a lot of brushes. This first brush is an angle brush that has some dried gel liner along with some dried latex. I'm just going to submerge this in the Parian Spirit jar with the liquid and rub it along the grate so I can help to break up the product and let the solution just do its job and help loosen everything so that way it can clean the brush properly. I dab it on the sides to have the extra liquid go back into the jar so I don't waste it. I'm blending it on a tissue to remove any debris and to clean the solution from the brush and shape it, and I'm going to lay it flat to dry. The next brush is a lash brush caked on with some dried waterproof mascara. Same process. I'm going to use the grate at the bottom to just break up the product so that the brush can be cleaned and the solution can just start breaking everything up. And then all the loose particles just fall underneath that grate so that it's not getting mixed back into the brush. Again, I want to make sure that I keep as much liquid in the jar as possible because you want to save it. Even though it looks dirty, it's still going to be effective in cleaning more brushes. You can pretty much use it until it's gone. And now this brush is clean. The next brush I want to show is a white bristled brush that has been used with highly pigmented powder. So it's neon pink powder on a white brush. We all know that that has a tendency to stain, and I just want to show you guys that this Parian Spirit brush cleaner is so effective that it can clean a white brush that has had some highly pigmented product on it, and it's going to be white when you're done. I'm breaking up that product, just dabbing it off. And you can see all of the pink pigment is off the brush. After I go ahead and blot it with my tissue and reshape it, if you still see more particles in there, you can dip it back into the liquid and just start the process over. But as you can see with this particular brush, after I dab it off, it's white again. There's no more pink pigment in that brush. And by the time I've gotten to the third brush, the brushes that I've already cleaned, they're dry already. You see there's no wetness, there's no residue. They're ready to be used again on the face. This brush is a dual fiber concealer brush. I have used some Pro Longwear concealer from MAC on there, so it's a pretty durable, tough makeup product that's dried and caked on this brush. And since it's dual fiber, it is both natural bristles and synthetic. And as you can see, it doesn't matter what fiber your brushes are, it's going to do a really great job of cleaning all the way through. I'm just dabbing that on a tissue. You just want to make sure that there's all the excess Parian Spirit is off of there so it dries faster. The more you blot, the faster your brushes will dry. This brush is what I use to apply my eyeshadow primer. So it has a caked on mixture of dried Pro Longwear concealer and Paint Pot and MAC paint. So there's tons of durable stuff that's really tough to get out most of the time. For this brush, I'm going to spend a little bit more time submerging it in the liquid so that way the solution has a lot more time to break up the product. And remember, the longer you let the brush stand submerged in the liquid, the more disinfectant kind of properties you're going to get. You need to have the Parian Spirit in contact with the bristles for at least a minute for you to get the disinfectant quality. And as you can see, after I blot my brush off, my brush is totally clean. Normally, this is probably the grossest brush that I have when I'm done with a project. And this brush is a normal eyeshadow brush. You can see that there's tons of like layers of powder in this brush. It's super dirty, and the Parian Spirit just does a really, really nice job of cutting through all that and getting all of that product out of that brush. And like I said, I've been using the same amount that I poured in the beginning. I have not had to pour more in there, and even though the solution does look dirty, it is effective until it's gone. So you don't, if you still have any left by the time you're done cleaning, you can close the lid tightly and save it for next time. This brush has some dried and caked on fake blood. It's actually the Fresh Scab by Ben Nye, and as you can see, there's just tons of product in this brush. And this is one of the big tests that I wanted to see because they claim it takes fake blood off of brushes, and I was really, really happily surprised that it lived up to what they said it would. And since it is pretty kicked on, just like the previous brushes, I want to spend a little bit more time submerging it in the liquid so that it's sanitary, but also giving the Parian Spirit a lot of time to break down that product so it loosens up and it just slides right off of the bristles. I love that a little bit of this product goes a long way. I've cleaned my whole entire set of makeup brushes maybe like 3 times already since I bought this kit, and as you can see in that bottle, I haven't really used that much. So it was pretty much a good investment. Now, this foundation brush has dried silicone-based foundation in it. And as we all know, silicone-based foundation is a little bit water resistant, so sometimes it can be a little tough to get out of a brush, especially once it's been dried. So, as you can see, it's just breaking it all down. I'm submerging it in the liquid. It's doing a really good job of breaking it down, and once I blot it on the tissue and get the rest of it off, it's clean and ready to be used again in a few seconds. Now the last brush I'm going to demonstrate the cleaning with is a big powder brush. So as we all know, we use these a lot. Powder gets all up in there, and it takes a while sometimes to get through all of those bristles. So as opposed to dunking it into the jar where the bloom of the brush is going to just soak up all of that product, I'm going to use a spray bottle because it's a lot faster and easier, and I don't waste any of the Parian Spirit. So I'm making sure that I thoroughly saturate that brush all the way through, and making sure that it sits for at least a minute, so that way I make sure that my brush is disinfected. And then I'm going to go ahead and blot that and clean the handle and make sure that I get all of that Parian Spirit and the makeup off. The spray bottle does come in handy, especially with all your powder brushes, and especially like sometimes you have a lot going on and you can't dunk the brushes into the jar. So the spray bottle allows you the freedom to do really, really fast, quick cleans. Now, you've seen how easy it's been to clean these brushes. It hasn't really been that long. I was able to clean this whole assortment of brushes really, really quickly. Now, just remember that the Parian Spirit's also really good for removing makeup that gets on other places. So I'm removing the dried blood from my fingers. You can use it to remove adhesive or oil-based makeup off of clothes, false lashes, false facial hair, wigs, etc. It's a really great versatile product. So the great thing is the Parian Spirit jar can be easily cleaned. You just run it through water, get rid of the liquid that's in there. I mean, you could technically save that liquid and use it again, as long as you keep it in a safe place with the lid shut really tight. But I cleaned the lid, and I'm taking out the components inside the jar, and I'm making sure that I clean those really, really well in the sink through running water. And you just set them aside to dry. So there's the ring that goes in there. That's actually what the grate rests on, so it's not just like flush against the bottom of the jar. It's raised up a little bit. And now I'm going to be cleaning the jar. Just running some water through it. Everything comes off really nice and easy. Super quick. You just set that upside down on a towel or something like that, or just dry it with a towel inside. Just want to make sure that there isn't, that you don't trap water there to build bacteria or any mildew. So you just would replace the stand back in and the grate on top, and then the jar goes on. It's pretty easy. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed my second product review. Parian Spirit pretty much changed my life. I've never had so much fun cleaning my brushes until I got my Parian Spirit kit. Before it was one of those things where I dreaded it. I was like, oh, I have all these brushes to clean and I need them done tomorrow. So, it was one of those things where I just put off all the time and just did them at the last minute or whatever, and then it would be like, oh my gosh, I don't really have that much time for them to dry, etc. So this product changed my life. Changed my life because I know it dries fast. I know it cleans, deep cleans really well, regardless if it's latex, emollient products like lipstick, silicone-based foundations, alcohol airbrush paint, whatever. And it's going to keep my brushes conditioned. They're soft, they're shiny, and they smell good, and they dry really fast. I mean, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a miracle product, because it is, so I love it. So go ahead and buy it. You can look up online, you can get it you know, all the information that I said and more is going to be on ParianSpirit.com. You can buy it from Namie's. You can buy it from Nigel's, I believe. There's lots of places online where you can get it. I would encourage you guys to pick it up at a trade show if you get to go, because you'll find a really great deal. So, you know, thanks for watching my video. I hoped I got you guys excited about disinfection. And go ahead and get yourself some Parian Spirit and have a great old time cleaning your brushes like I do. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.